guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to this vlog. This vlog is a very special one. We're Friday the 17th of February and today is my half a doc ball. Today is kind of the day where we're celebrating that I'm halfway through med school and I have a lot of thoughts about this. So I'm first going to go to the GP quickly and then I'll talk to you through in between my classes my thoughts and feelings and emotions about all of this. But it's going to be a fun one. It's a really exciting one. We're all going to be dressed up well. It's going to be really cute and exciting. I'm excited for it. Okay guys, I've finished my first lesson and I have another one in like 20 minutes. But I wanted to come on here just to talk a little bit about, I'm halfway through med school. Halfway through med school. I've never said it before, but I'm probably intercalating next year. I'm in the process of applying and everything. But I had a first thing to mention was that this morning I had a class and then there was a few people that were like knew a lot. And I had a week this week where I was quite busy and I didn't have time to like properly get into the nitty-gritty details, and there were people out there in that Zoom that were like really, really good and knew everything, and I was like, oh my god, like it's so good that you guys know all of this. But then I think it made me feel very like, oh my gosh, like I should know this, like I don't know this. So like obviously I'm then, I would say inferior, but obviously then I'm like not as good or whatever it is. And then yesterday there was another instance where somebody was letting me know that I was not quick enough to apply for my intercalation and that I should get on it and and I think these two instances probably like startled me a little bit, because I think with like any university and especially in med school, every single person in here is, you know, high achievers, are very good at what they're doing, they work very hard. We all do. And I think sometimes one of the biggest lessons that med school teaches you is to learn how to not compare yourself to others and learn to set your own goals, learn how to be comfortable in whatever timeline you've decided for yourself. And I think the past 2 days have kind of challenged that, and I have to consistently come back to myself and being like, no, hey, like Orlane, like you're on the right track, you are doing the right thing, you know what I mean, like you are trying to give time to every single thing that's important in your life, and that's just how it is. It just happened that you haven't applied yet for the intercalation, and it's just happened that this week you hadn't have enough time to like have proper, you know, in-depth knowledge about the topic. But it's okay, and I think it's very easy in med school to immediately compare your timeline to somebody else's and compare like whatever they decide to portray to you, and then you get an idea of them that's like, oh my god, like they're really good and they've done all these things and I don't do any of this. But they're also probably out there thinking and admiring somebody else. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it's one of those things that as now a third year medic, halfway through medical school, is one of the biggest, I think, challenges in med school, is to learn how to follow your own timeline and know that whatever you decide to do and the way that you decide to study and how you decide to study is inherently the best way for you. And even if somebody else next to you is doing something completely different and like studying more, studying less, or whatever it is, it doesn't make them inherently better or less or not as good as you, if that makes sense. Because it is stressful when people around you are like, yeah, I'm in the library 10 hours a day, and I'm like, well, I'm not. So am I less of a medic? Am I not as good of a medic? You know, like, and it has to be like the first 2 years, I think, of medical school is really important to create this sort of very like kind of headspace and mindset of like, hey, like I'm doing what's right for me right now. But yeah, that was just a thought before I go back to my other lesson, and then after that we can talk about all the implications of what being a third year medic halfway through means. Because it's, if you think about it, if I think about it, it's kind of crazy. It's insane that I'm already halfway through. Oh, okay, I still have 30 minutes of classes, but we've had a little break now. It's like really interesting. We're doing like the whole like motivational interview. We've done this already last year in year 2, but we're doing it again. And it's just interesting to see now that you've done like more of clinical stuff and being like, oh, okay, like all of these things are like actually good ways of communicating that will make you obviously a better communicator with your patients, but also with everybody around you, like with your parents, with your friends, with your partners, or whatever it is. So it's very interesting. And then once that's done, I'm going to like have a shower, and then I definitely need to sit down with you and talk about the whole journey up until here, reflecting on, like, I'm halfway through med school. If I told this to my younger self, hey, one day you'll be halfway through med school and it's going to come by a lot faster than you've ever expected it to, I would believe you, but I'd be like, okay, I don't have time to think about this, it's so far away. But it's now. Like, it's crazy to me to think that, like, just halfway through already. It's just insane. But yeah, we'll talk about this a bit more in detail, but it's crazy. It's crazy. And you've been with me on this whole journey. I started this, like, YouTube channel 2 months before starting med school, like in July, and I went to med school in September, so it's just crazy to think how so much has changed. It's so cool. Okay. All the lessons are done. I'm going to my friend's house in an hour to get ready for the ball, but now it's time for us to discuss and talk about... Whoa, guys, I'm halfway through medical school. If you've been following my journey since 2020 and watched my video that I think I posted just over a year ago now, my journey to medical school was so challenging. It's taught me so many things. Again, in life, I always say that, and my mom always tells me, things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And my journey to medical school was very difficult. It was filled with self-doubt and people telling me that they didn't believe in me and telling me that there was no way that I could get into medical school and all that jazz. But it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me how resilient I am. It taught me that I can prove people wrong. It told me as well that if you put enough hard work in something, you can achieve your dreams. Like, it's all of these small things that are giving me confirmation that if I can do this thing that's medical school, that was the massive thing that I was aiming for when I was in school, but now seems like a very simple, trivial thing in my brain, because I'm like, well, I'm a medic and I've been a medic for 3 years now, well, medical student. When I look at all my other goals now in life, like applying for intercalation and then hopefully maybe one day becoming a surgeon or whatever else I want to do with my life, I think things that have happened in that period in 2020, like leading up to med school, that have really challenged me and in a lot of different ways, have taught me a lot of lessons that I can bring forward to all of these, you know, new challenges that life will bring my way. So I think that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about, is like just reflecting on like the whole journey. Like, oh my gosh, like it was so hard to get into med school and now I'm already halfway through. And also thinking about, like, I finished pre-clinical years, which were fun, but not like, they were fun in a, oh, I'm learning about medicine and I'm a medical student, but not in the like, oh, I'm actually a medical student. Like, I properly feel like a medical student now. Being in hospital like very often is just so cool. It's just so amazing. And I think that's the reason why people do want to become doctors and people do want to get into this field, however tough it is. It's because of how cool and how amazing, like all of the amazing things you can do in this field. Like, I'm a third-year medical student and I'm able to talk to patients of all different walks of life every day if I wanted to, and have a patient sit with me while they're crying and going through the hardest part of their life, and my role is just there to listen and be with them. I get to go to theaters and watch surgeries. Like, it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity that you don't realize how much you can share with people every day, that I wouldn't get to like talk to a random stranger on the street about their wife and their kids and like how their health is doing and what they're worried about and what concerns them and how they're feeling genuinely within themselves. But I get to do that every single day if I wanted to in hospital, and that's just really cool. And I think these are all of the positive things that, you know, medicine has brought to my life, and, you know, all the things that I'm like reflecting on now, like halfway through, being like, whoa, like all of these things that I'm able to do on a daily basis are privileges. And, you know, when something becomes something that you do every day, it becomes your normal and you don't realize that it's a privilege. You know, people that, you know, have a lot of money and stuff like that, you can go through life and, you know, you have to intentionally pause and be like, oh, whoa, like I am so privileged, I am so lucky, I'm so fortunate to be able to live this way. But you have to intentionally pause sometimes. And I think that's the thing which I really like about having this half half a duck bowl. It allows you to do kind of like a midway reflection of like, whoa, this is everything I've achieved already. And where am I heading now? Like, where am I heading? What are the stuff that I'm excited about? And for me, it's definitely, I'm excited to intercalate hopefully next year. I'm still in the process of applying. I'm excited to continue learning about medicine. I'm excited to learn about all of the different specialties as well about medicine. I'm just excited to get more exposure. I'm excited to get involved with like more society. So I'm involved with the surgical society now. It's just a really exciting time recently. I think that the first 2 years were very much like getting in the flow of uni. There was COVID, you know, it was not proper medicine yet. It was just preclinical. And now this first semester was getting into the groove of like being in hospital and everything. And I think that now that I fully feel like I found my feet, it's like, okay, now here are all of the exciting things that I'm looking forward to. And just thinking about like, if this is how quick this first part of medical school has gone, the next part is going to be so much quicker. I know it. And I really want to intentionally like do all the things that I want to do and like make the most out of it. At the end of the day, like it's a period of my life that will last 6 years, and then it will be over, and then it'll just be memories that I'll be able to talk about with my partner, with my kids, hopefully one day, but my parents and family and friends. But it won't be what I'm experiencing right now. So I think right now I'm in the process of like creating amazing, wonderful memories about this period of my life, because it's such a privilege to be able to do this. I really love my degree. Whatever I decide to do in the future, if it's, you know, doing surgery and doing whatever, or if it's like completely 360ing and doing something completely different to medicine, I think I love the medical degree. I love it. I really do. And I'm so excited to be able to celebrate all of the third-year medics tonight and be like, whoa guys, we've done it. We've done this. We've done half already. And the first half was already beautiful, and I can't wait to see how much more beautiful the second half can be, because it'll be amazingly beautiful. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm like in this kind of like hopeful vibe recently of like, wow, life is just really beautiful. I'm just making the most out of it, you know. If there's another thing that I've learned about through medical school that I think I talked about a little bit this morning, is some of the downsides of it, like all the comparison that comes up, all of the, you know, sometimes somebody knows so much and you're like, oh whoa, like I don't know as much, so maybe I'm just not as good, maybe I need to work a lot harder to do X, Y, and Z. But then I think it's really important to have your boundaries and have like, okay, what are my goals? My goals are getting these results in these exams, whatever the results you want. But, you know, still maintaining a balance, whatever the balance looks like for you. If you are very happy working 10 hours a day on medicine and learning all the nitty-gritty little detail, that's fine. Do that if that's what you want to do, genuinely. But for me, that's not necessarily what I want to do. Like, I want to like do very well in medical school. I tend to, because I really like the stuff and I want to do very well. But at the same time, I also am really passionate about continuing my YouTube journey. I'm really passionate about being in societies. I'm really passionate about singing. And I don't want to lose myself to the detriment of my degree. Even though I love my degree, I don't want it to be the only thing that defines me. And I think sometimes that's what I hold on to when I've had a week where I haven't been able to work that much on medicine. And it seems like everybody else has done so much. But really, truly, it's like maybe 2 people that are vocal enough to talk about everything they know. And just holding on to the fact, it's not because they know a lot that I know nothing. Maybe I know slightly less, but at the end of the day, when we'll go do exams, I'll know. I'll hopefully I'll know. And just like trying to like compare less. And yeah, things like that. Like, it's just, you learn a lot in medical school. You just learn a lot about yourself, about people in general. You know, you get rejected. People don't want to speak to you. People assume that you're a nurse because you're a woman. It's a very people-oriented career and degree, and you just learn a lot about humanity, I think, as the sentiment of like, you learn about all about humans. Like, you're seeing people at their most stripped down version of themselves, and it's a very raw but very beautiful thing. So yeah, that was my little rant about being a third-year medic. If anything else pops up about like the whole vibe that we're halfway through, I'll add a little bit more, a few segments, but if not, I'm gonna have a little bit of lunch now. Yeah, because I'm hungry. And then I need to have a shower, start getting ready, like all my stuff in a bag, and then I'm gonna go to my friend's house and get ready. Yeah, it's gonna be great, and we're all gonna look so cute, and it's gonna be just a really beautiful, magical night. Even, yeah, I'll make it magical. That's gonna be my goal. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Can you imagine that I'm a third year medic? I've grown so much since 2020. Anywho, I said that. I'm turning in circles now. I'm too lazy to make proper food. Hashtag life of a medic. So I have cucumber. I think that's all that I need. Do I need anything else? I'm trying to figure out stuff I might have forgotten. Probably want to bring this. I'm on my period, so I need a few period essentials. I think that's all. It's so exciting. I'm so excited, guys. All my stuff is here. It now has to get into this bag. I'm all ready to go. Look at that. My little bag. And soon I'll be fully transformed. I'm ready. I'm so excited. I can't believe that I'm halfway through. And I'm so grateful that I'm halfway through. I'm so grateful that I was able to be on this journey. Guys, when something's meant for you, it'll be yours.